What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hustle. Yes, this is the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Oh, also make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and that Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right. Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for. All right. And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only. Not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members. And we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being a zero, you ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos and you'll get them notifications, it's going to be some information that's going to help you win, all right? In today's video, we're going to talk about the top scams that's going on right now going into 2026. Yes, it's a lot of scams going on. It's a lot of fraud going on. It's a lot of schemes going on. And I'm trying to get people to understand and see how much scamming and fraud is going on in today's world. Scams and fraud is up 600 to 800% since COVID-19. There's more fraud going on right now than there was when this PPP was going on. And a lot of people are in situations where they need money. A lot of people are living check to check. A lot of people, the world is broke right now. So it's a lot of people trying to figure out any and every way that they can get some quick funds, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And since there have been a lot of promotion of different scams and fraud and methods that's getting people money, a lot of people are starting to resort and lean towards scams and fraud of that nature. So, as we all know, there's a lot of different methods, there's a lot of different scams, a lot of different fraud tactics that's going on in the world, from hacking to methods to identity theft to you name it. And a lot of people ask me, what's the new wave? What's the new this? What's the new that? And and when it boils down to scams and fraud, there is no such thing as what's the new wave, what's the new thing. Because think about it. How does it sound to say what's the new scam that everybody is doing? It doesn't make sense. There are many different scams, frauds, methods, whatever out here that people are doing, and there are people doing the exact same thing different ways. So you got people out here doing check fraud, but they're doing it different ways. You got people out here doing credit card fraud, but they're doing it different ways. You got people out here doing identity fraud, but they're doing it different ways. You got people who are doing so many different things, the same things, but they're doing it different ways. And a lot of people are followers in the world. A lot of people who are in these situations where they need some type of quick funds, they want to do what they see the next person doing that's getting them some money. So whatever people are promoting and they're saying at the time that's making people or getting people some money, they want to do it. Not understanding that in this world, there are so many methods and so many different ways of doing the exact same methods or any different method that every method or any type of fraud or scam that a scammer or fraudster is doing is the way because it's what they know how to do. And as the world evolves, the scams and the methods evolve. Wherever there's money being made, there's some type of scam or fraud being committed. Point blank, period. If you can do it this way, you can do it that way. And that's what people are not understanding. The same way people are getting approved for loans, credit cards, lines of credit, auto loans. Scammers and fraudsters are doing it the exact same way. They're just doing it with stolen identities or different type of information that's not really them. So a popular scam or fraud right now that's going on is identity theft, aka CPN fraud. And it's a lot of people out there that hears the word CPN and they're under this impression that a CPN is stolen identity, somebody who is deceased, a child, a homeless person, not understanding that there are pre-built CPNs and there are CPNs. Pre-built CPNs are when you utilize somebody else's identity to benefit to benefit some type of revenue in some type of way. CPNs are created with numbers that have not been issued to anybody, so it is not anybody's number, and the information that's on that CPN is created or used by with that person. So whoever is creating the CPN, they're using their information on this CPN. So there's a complete difference from using somebody's information from not using somebody's information. And there's cops out here, there's people out here that, like I said, they are thirsty for money. They need money. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. They're trying to be slick. And not doing their research and not really knowing what's going on, they hear CPN. And the people say, oh, you can get a car with this. You can get an apartment with this. You can do all this. It got a such and such credit profile on it. Well, there's no way for anything to have a credit profile on it if they didn't have that person's information already to create it. There's no way for you to buy a credit profile. You can't buy an established credit profile because it has to have information connected to it in order to be built. So that should be a red flag already. But people are utilizing these pre-built CPNs and people are getting loans, credit cards, lines of credit in other people's names, apartments, cars. And people are getting cars and selling them, turning them to strikers. People are getting loans, running off with the cash, credit cards, getting cash advances, doing different things to generate the revenue from that person's identity. And then they continue to do it with different identities. Open up bank accounts, get checks, different things. So CPN fraud, pre-built CPN fraud, is probably one of the common scams right now. We see a lot of different reaction, cop cam, body cam arrest videos on YouTube where people doing identity theft, CPN fraud, trying to get cars and things like that, bank fraud and things like that. So there's a lot of people out here trying to utilize CPNs to get cars, apartments, and to do a lot of different things. Then you got credit card fraud. No, you got check fraud. A lot of people are committing check fraud, and a lot of people are doing it a lot of different ways. You got people who are robbing mailboxes. You got people who are working in the mail centers, stealing mail. You got people who are robbing mail carriers. You got people who are stealing checks from elderly people. You got people who are buying checks off the dark web. You got people who are creating their own checks. You got so many different ways that people are trying to figure out how to get checks. Because, like I said, wherever there's money being made, there's some type of scam or fraud being committed. So if this piece of paper can get somebody a lump sum of money just by depositing it or cashing it, they're going to do it. So people are finding different ways to get checks, like I said. And once they get these checks, then they got to figure out how they can cash it. So people are stealing checks out of mailboxes and stealing checks. People just stealing checks from either working in the post office, out the mailbox, the mail carrier, get stealing checks, and they're figuring out ways how to alter the checks. They coming up with scientific ways to alter checks from acetone and brake fluid and scraping numbers off. Then they starting to figure out how banks verify checks, and not then they doing different. There's so many different ways. Then people are on the dark web, and like I said, the dark web is a whole different universe. It's a whole different place, and you got hackers on the dark web. You got people who are good at certain things. So people are on the dark web who actually sell real checks, meaning that they can get employee check from a Walmart, a Target, or any store out there, and they're creating them for this person, and they're creating different variants of it, and people are buying them, and people having are cashing them. People are figuring out and trying any and every way that they can. If they're in the check world, they're gonna figure out any way and every way that they can to cash a check or alter a check or get a lot of funds off a check, and that's what a lot of people are not understanding. Well, a lot of people are understanding, and a lot of people are seeing people say, "Oh, you get this check, you cash this check," but people are just getting set up for failure because a lot of these checks be bad checks. A lot of people be having bad IDs when they go to these banks, and they be hip to what's going on already, because check fraud is a popular scam, but a lot of these banks are getting hip to the scam. So they starting to check checks. They trying to verify checks. They starting to check IDs, and the IDs are so horrible. Like, people not the little things on IDs is they like pay attention to, meaning that the issue date. How is a brand new spanking ID and it was issued 2 years ago? It's not gonna look that brand new. Like the holograms and the IDs, like they looking at a lot of different stuff, scanning the IDs. They doing a lot of different things because they are so hip to so many people committing check fraud that they're hip to what's going on. So they're taking more steps to verify checks and catch on to the scams. Then you got credit card fraud. People are finding that's gonna be a scam that's gonna go on for ages. People because with credit card fraud comes skimmers, and skimmers are basically POS templates that people put over POS machines and ATM slots and things like that to steal people's credit card or debit card information. And as long as there's going to be debit card and credit cards on this universe, there's going to be skimmers and credit card and debit card scams and fraud going on. And a lot of people aren't hip to the type of ways that people are stealing this type of information, so they're not aware of it, so they're not keeping themselves protected, not checking POS machines and make sure it's not loose, and it's not a skimmer, not paying for the gas at the gas pump outside, going in and paying either at the register or paying with cash. Like, the checking and making sure that the ATM where you put your card in isn't loose and it's a skimmer over that. Making sure the keypad isn't loose. Making sure there isn't a keypad skimmer over that. Like, these are the main places that these be: gas stations, WalMarts, independent stores, like things like that. And the dark web. People are buying information on the dark web. How are people getting on the dark web? You got to understand, everybody is human, and people um, have jobs. There's jobs out here where people have to have this information. So you got to think, people work at banks. People who work at banks, three times, probably three times out the week they at home, and two times they probably in the office, if that. So you never know what's going on from that person's home. You're not there with them. You got people who are compromising bank systems and things like that. There's so many different ways that people are getting a hold of credit card and debit card information and leaking it on the dark web and selling it on the dark web and things like that. So debit and credit card scams are definitely another top scam. People are starting to realize that credit cards are for sure money. Most people are broke, so you're never going to know how much money is on that debit card. But you get a credit card, there's going to be some money on there. So they're starting to get those, duplicate the cards, get cash advances, do a lot of different things when it comes to credit card fraud. So debit credit card fraud is definitely a top scam that's going on. You got crypto scams that's going on. Um, a lot of people are getting hip to the crypto world with the different coins that's going on, and with just like stock trading is crypto trading, and people are finding techniques how to crypto trade and how to do certain things to get lump sums of money with crypto. And methods, people are doing methods to get lump sums of money, ATM jackpotting, hacking methods. There's a lot of different methods that people are utilizing to get a lot of money when it comes to the scams. And there are places on the dark web that will allow people to pay, and they'll do a cash app glitch for you, or a crypto load, or these different things for you. And people are finding these places on the dark web and utilizing those services. So there are a lot of scams and frauds that's going on, a lot of scam, fraud, and schemes that's going on in the world right now. It's like you look at the world, and it's like a dark cloud that's starting to cover it, and it's with scams and fraud. We get text messages on a daily basis. We get calls on a daily basis. We get emails on a daily basis. We get all these different forms of scams and things on a daily basis. You got people in India, Africa with call centers committing scams. You got people overseas committing scams because there's different type of scams and schemes that's going on in the world, and it's just not those type right there. There's so many out here that if people actually learned the different ones, they'd be amazed and then they'd be cautious. Like, so it's a scam with this, it's a scam with that, it's fraud with that, it's fraud with that. I tell people about the show American Greed. The show American Greed shows the different levels of scams and frauds that it is out there that's going on. How people are doing check fraud, credit card. Then people at the top are doing $1 billion Ponzi schemes. Like it's different levels to what's going on. It's just about the environment and the lane that that person is in. And people, like I said, it's a lot of people are trying to figure out ways to get lump sums of money, and they want to do what the next person they see the next person doing, that's getting them money, or what the next people are doing. They see a lot of people doing, so they want to do it. So it's all about being more safe, staying more cautious, and being more aware. Because if you're not more aware, if you don't know what's going on, you're not going to be able to keep yourself protected. Because at the end of the day, these scams and frauds, this fraud that's going on, are affecting people because these are people's identities. These are people credit card and debit cards. These are people crypto wallets. These are people. There's a lot of different things that's going on, and people got to understand that. So, like I tell people all the time, start getting your Norton LifeLock, and start monitoring all your accounts, from social media accounts to bank accounts, financial accounts. So, if any suspicious activity was to happen, you'll get an alert. You can know what's going on, and you can go check it out. And Norton LifeLock also monitors the dark web to make sure your information is not floating around on there. Also, when it comes to the debit card and credit card fraud that I told you guys about, start after so often you using your card, you gotta start thinking like, okay, I didn't use my card at a lot of different places. My information is stored on a lot of different databases, and it's always a leak going on. Let me call my bank and order a new card with new information, because if it was to happen and it was a leak or a database or compromise and my that card information was on there, it'll no longer be valid and it won't work if somebody tried to use it, and you be protecting yourself because you already was aware of what's going on and, well, the information I tell you guys. So always, after so often using your cards any places, start getting new ones, new numbers. So if that information was compromised or stolen, it wouldn't be valid when they try to use it. And keep yourself safe and your account safe. Also, start freezing your credit bureaus, your credit profiles from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, because if it is frozen, nobody can get any type of loans, credit cards, or line of credits, or cards, or anything in your name unless those things aren't frozen. So make sure you guys, if you're not utilizing your credit profiles, freezing your credit profiles so nobody can get anything in your name, all right? And it's just all about taking this information that I'm telling you guys and just taking it into consideration, because a lot of people want to learn about different things, a lot of people want to experiment different things, and a lot of people want to see different things, and it's just all about keeping yourself safe, being more cautious, and being more aware of what's going on out there, because this is the real world, and these are real situations and real things that's happening, and nobody wants to become a victim. So people who are committing these crimes, there's always a victim on the other side, and it's always somebody. And I mean, and it always triggers back to the banks. It might be the bank that's a victim, it might be a person that's a victim, but somebody's a victim, and nobody wants to be a victim. So stay more safe, stay more cautious, be more aware. Like I said, get your Norton Life blocks to monitor all your accounts, from social media to financial accounts, to if any suspicious activities to happen, you get alert. You can go check it out and see what's going on. Start freezing your credit profiles from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, because if it's frozen, nobody can get anything in your name. And make sure you guys are changing out those debit and credit card numbers every so often, because there's so many data leaks and compromises going on in this world that you know how many times you use your card and then tapped and did all that so many places. So just changing it and getting a fresh start is always a breath of fresh air when it comes to these type of things like that. All right, so make sure you guys are staying more safe, staying more cautious, being more aware, listening to what I'm saying, taking this information, and always keeping it in the back of your head. Because if you do, you might. This is a real world. You might see something that I've said going on. You know how to keep yourself safe and other people safe. All right, and so. Shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there because without y'all, there be no me. Y'all motivate me to keep going. Y'all motivate me to keep dropping the sauce. And y'all motivate me to keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime 101 limited gyms are $1,000. But for limited time only, I'm doing them for 600. Yeah, 600 Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Also, make sure y'all book your seat on the webinars Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 250, 10 seats each class. We're gonna talk about a lot of different subjects, so make sure y'all ready to have some professional conversations. These webinars will be posted on my podcast on YouTube. All right, so make sure y'all ready to have some fun, get some knowledge, and have some fun. Also, make sure y'all book y'all seat on the crypto tour in person, living in gyms. 3,500, $500 deposit. The rest of the money be in person. Make sure y'all book y'all seat on the month long mentorship. 30 days, 2,500. Anything you need help with, let's get to work. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato App Millionaire Network. Still looking for people for the production company. Still looking for rappers, singers, models, producers, cameramen, women, gaming streamers, and content creators. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the all notification bell on my YouTube channels, my Twitch, my IGs, my TikToks. I got multiple IGs and multiple YouTube channels, so make sure y'all subscribe to all of them and follow all of them. Run them followers up, the subscribers up, all that good stuff, them likes, all that good stuff like that. Um, Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know how to get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson, video, or live. Peace.